Hi everyone. So welcome to this little video, the first in a series about navigating conflict. And today we're going to start off by talking about our inner process. And this feels important to me. So often when there's conflict, really focused on the situation and what happened and what we're going to do next. And I found it so useful to take some time to actually look at an inner process and see what there's to learn about me, what's really going on. And then, regardless of whether I get to have a dialogue with the person or not, there's something shifts in me. So that's where I want to start. And before I do start, I really keep saying this to myself and to everyone. Like, we're so brought up in a world of right and wrong and good and bad, and so whatever I say or however I say it, it's likely you're going to hear the good way to do it, and you're going to start thinking I'm doing it wrong or I've done it wrong. So just inviting you to notice that, bring some gentleness to that, and maybe step into that paradigm of letting go of those lessons from school of getting it right and getting it wrong, and just notice what's happening and choose the best you can. Choose what you want to do consciously, and when you don't and you react and you do all the old patterns, like, can you still love yourself? Yes, if you take nothing else from this video, I hope you enjoy that reminder. Yeah. All right, so first thing I'm going to talk about is reactivity and choice. So all of us will have patterns around conflict, things we tend to go to when a conflict happens, and they come from what we witnessed as children growing up, from our things that have happened to us and how we've kept ourselves safe. All sorts of things, reasons why we have these default behaviors and strategies. So just notice, think of maybe a conflict you had recently or one that comes to mind, and notice. So some of us will tend to really want to run away, to just get distance from the person, maybe not even think about it ourselves, like push it away, pretend it's not happening. Many variations of that. Don't want to look, don't want to, just get me away from it. Others of us might want to really go towards it, really like bring a lot of energy to it, have it out, and express ourselves and let them hear what we think and what we're seeing, and our views and how it's affecting us. And again, nothing wrong with any of these strategies, just wanting some more choice around them. And other of us, we might get overwhelmed and freeze, just go numb, or just avoid it altogether, avoid thinking about it, avoid talking about it. Anything in between. We might also really want dialogue. I feel like we need dialogue, and that might be available or not. So I want to also empower us to still be able to process. This is something that happened to me recently. The other person didn't want to talk, and so I had to focus on myself and my inner process, and remembered the value of that and how much peace it can bring. So I wanted to offer that. And around choice, the invitation is to, with this conflict that you're thinking of, or next time one comes up, to just really take some time to resource yourself, whether that's to sit and be quiet, go for a walk, have support from a friend, whatever it is, and just notice if that changes how you want to respond. Yeah, whether you're still in some version of that pattern or it brings something else if there's a different choice. Yeah, just noticing that. So the second part is, yeah, tracking the different things that go on in us. Yeah, when there's a conflict or when there's been a conflict and we're still processing it. And mostly internally, it's all jumbled, it's all happening at the same time. And where we put our attention, that is what we notice. So this exercise is an invitation to notice all the different things that are going on. And yeah, again, having a bit more choice and awareness of where to put our energy, and yeah, just separating them out can really help. So invite you to have a piece of paper, a pen, and maybe something you can time for 5 minutes. So feel free to pause the video if you need to. Yeah, and then I want you to think of a situation where there's tension, where there's a conflict. Yeah, where maybe there's some unresolved stuff between you and another person. And yeah, for this exercise, please use whatever language feels most comfortable to you and whatever words resonate most. So I'm going to use kind of a range of different words and you choose what feels best. So I want you to take the bit of paper and divide it into 4, however you like, 4 circles, 4 areas of the paper. And in the top of the first one, I want you to write stories or one of these other words. So this is for us to track all the stories that we're running. So it might be stories about why they're doing it, what they're trying to do, and why. Yeah, stories about ourselves, what it means about us, judgments about them, who they are, assumptions we're making about them or the situation. Yes, any thoughts, stories, number 1. Then in the second part, if you want to, you can write impulses or strategies. So this is all of the ways that kind of come to mind where we think, I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to text them. I know I'm not going to talk to them till at least next Friday. So anything that's like an impulse to act, a strategy for what you want to do next, just note that. That's number 2. Then number 3, we're going to note feelings. So that can be, sort of feeling words, if you're familiar with that emotions, and it can also be sensations. So it can be, like I really notice my jaw's tight, I have a lot of anxiety in my chest, or my belly's feeling really churned up, whatever comes. It can be body things, emotions, words. Then the 4th one, want you to notice if you sense anything that's underlying all of those, like a sort of a deeper core about what's going on. So again, if you're familiar with MVC, that may be sort of unmet needs, things that you really value that aren't being met right now. Another way to say that could be what really matters, like what really matters about this. Why is this hard? Why is this turning me up? Why is this hard to move through? Yeah, so 4 sections. And what you need to do is pause the video, and you can time yourself for 5 minutes or more if you want, and just let your attention rest on this conflict and just notice what comes up. When you notice a story, you can put it in that box. When you notice a strategy, put it in that. Feelings, and then the needs or the core, and just see where you get to. Okay. So if you did that exercise, I wonder how that was for you, what came up, if anything surprised you. And it could be really good to talk that through with someone, like with a friend, or if you want to reach out to me. Yeah, and what did you notice? Like anything new in there? Anything that surprised you? Or yeah, lots can happen from that. So I think one thing is, if you got to the core of what matters or your unmet needs, to take some time with that, to give that some care. Is there any empathy needed from yourself or from someone else? Yeah, honouring that could be something quite vulnerable there, or something painful. It could bring up memories of other times that need hasn't been met. And often for me, I notice is the core is some kind of fear. Yeah, some kind of fear something's going to happen that will be really painful, and maybe reminds me of things in the past that were painful. Yeah. So lots more. But for now, what I wanted to draw attention to a bit as well is the impulses and strategies, and they might give you a bit of a clue into the third thing that we're going to do. So this last part of this little video, this is something that's become really important for me. It might resonate or not. For me, when things are happening in my life, and especially when they're happening repeatedly and I get triggered, I'm more and more thinking, like, what's the message for me? What's life trying to show me through this? Like, how can more freedom come from this? Like more inner freedom, more capacity, more peace, more self-understanding. Yeah, those lovely things that I want in my life. And like I said, often it's showing me that there's a fear I still have, and often it shows me that it's linked to something from the past that's not so much true anymore. Like, it lets me question, is that thing I'm believing true, or what's needed around that, beyond that strategy? So if you did have strategies and impulses, they can be really interesting to look at and wonder, when I have that impulse to do the action, or when I have this strategy, like, what's the wisdom in that? What's that trying to show me? Like, what am I trying to get? So an example I have is, this person I said that was that actually kind of criticized me in a group setting, and that was facilitating. And a few times I've reached out to discuss with them, and their choice is they don't want to discuss it, or process it together. So really respecting that choice, even though that part of me doesn't want that. I really want to have dialogue, and and I'm committed to people having choice, respecting that, as if I could control it anyway. But the message for me was, there's still this fear in me, and the scenario runs, if I let it run, it's something like, if I let it run all the way, this judgments about me will then spread. Lots of other people will believe it, and in the end, like, I'll have nobody that values me or trusts me. That I won't have connection anymore. I won't have community anymore. Won't be able to contribute in the world anymore in the way that I want, because the trust is gone. So it's something about this real, fear about suddenly losing all the trust and the connections. And there's more to say about that, but it can be really useful to say, there's a conflict with this other person, and in the next video we'll start to talk about preparing for dialogue and what can help in dialogue situations, whether that's with one person or with a group. But whatever happens next, what's here for you to see? How might there be a bit more freedom in you processing this? So yeah, a lot of these things are really good to do together, with an empathy buddy, with a friend, in a group, and we don't always have that chance. So I hope these tools might help in the meantime. You're also really welcome to contact me if there's something particular challenge or question you want to work through, or put comments into the chat. I'll put my details in the text that goes with this video. All right. I am intending to do some more of these videos, like I said, about stepping then into dialogue if that's available, preparing for it, and different ways of doing that depending what kind of conflict it is. And I'm also really open to other requests. I really love working with live situations. So yeah, if you have something you want to explore, let me know. And I hope you found something useful. Wishing you well from Yorkshire in the UK to wherever you are.